Hi, this is Carl with another SOP video for managed service providers. Today I want to talk about how to find stupendous job candidates. I have a slightly different way of trying to get people to apply for jobs. I put out an ad, but I do two things you probably don't do, and I encourage you to do. First of all, I have a very long ad, and many of you do the same thing, but I want to make sure people have detailed information about what the job actually entails. Now, the first thing I do that's different is I try to be slightly off-putting by telling people, do not send me a resume. If you send me a resume, I'm going to delete the email. And the reason for that is I want people to be engaged and I want them to read the instructions. I put that request pretty far down in the ad saying, do not, in all caps, do not send me a resume. I want people to actually engage. Why do I do that? Well, this literally eliminates hundreds of resumes from people who are not looking for the right job, or at least they're not looking for the job I'm advertising. Many people giving advice on how to find a job tell all the job candidates, scatter the universe with your resume. If it's remotely related, spread the resume far and wide across the four winds. So I get resumes from SQL programmers when I'm looking for an office administrator. I get web developers when I'm looking for a frontline technician, right? I don't need all that. So I cut out all of that. And all the people who just see an ad that's remotely related to IT and spam the universe with their resume, I delete. And so I never get to meet these people. They don't bother me. And a lot of them, if they do read the ad, they don't want to do the next thing. Because the next thing is, I ask them to send me a note that says, please explain in one paragraph why I should ask for your resume. And then I get emails from a handful of people, from a very small self-filtered group of people who start usually with, you should ask for my resume because, and then they tell you interesting information. And here's why it's interesting. They are most likely to tell you something that's at top of mind for them and that they think is a key selling point for them. And it should be a way for you to filter even more effectively. The second different thing I do is I pick a word, and for me, it's often the word stupendous. I literally hide in the middle of this very long ad a note that says, extra points if you put the word stupendous somewhere in your response. So then I get these emails from people who say, you should ask for my resume because I'm a stupendous hard worker, or something like that. I know that these people are detail-oriented, whether they have bragged about being detail-oriented or not. Whether I've asked for them to be detail-oriented or they've told me that they're detail-oriented, this is a way to actually test. Are they going to pay attention to the details? Did they actually read the ad? And I know this sounds like kind of a jerk way to filter people out, but here's the deal. I implemented this when I was regularly getting 130 to 150 responses to every job ad. And even though now that has dwindled down and people are much pickier than they used to be about which jobs they will apply for, it still holds truth that when you filter people or ask them to filter themselves, you only get the candidates who are actually worth interviewing, worth talking to. And in fact, I have figured out that this little process has gotten me some amazing people who might not otherwise have applied for this job. And my goal is always to find the next golden nugget that is going to be a spectacular employee who will shine and last, if I'm lucky, 3 to 5 years, letting me buy their services, buy their time. And then I will help them notch up their qualifications and they will move on. I don't want to lose those people, but the truth is, when you build up really good people, they become amazing employees, and then they become amazing resources, and then at some point they outgrow you and they move on. And that's, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. Helping other people in their careers turns them into permanent lifetime resources and friends that you can rely on for decades to come. So, when I look back at the people who used to work for me, I want to go have a barbecue with all those people. I want to get together with them because they're great people, now spread to the four winds, but they allowed me to be part of their career choice for some period of time. That made my business better and it made them better. And that's the kind of thing that you need to look at with jobs. You cannot assume you're going to hire somebody and they're going to stick with you for the next 20 or 30 years. That is not reality. That's not the way the world works. So among the people that you will onboard and you will bring to your team and you hope they'll last 10 years, you need to filter really well and allow them to filter you as well. You can always find my sample job postings at my blog at blog.smallbizthoughts.com. Go just look for $300 Miracle and follow all the links related to that because they're all related to hiring and job posting. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Polishuk, wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business.